she goes. She told her teacher, Donna saved me. Donna saved me. And Donna did.
Micah would not be alive today if Donna hadn't intervened.
I think she's the ultimate testament to how one person can make a huge difference.
In the early 1990s, Utah's Child Protective Services were struggling to meet the needs of kids under its care.
A system that has been in crisis for a long time.
The weakness of the system was shown in the case of 14-month-old Faith Barney. Doctors had raised a warning about possible abuse, but caseworkers failed to act, and she was returned to her parents. A few weeks later, little Faith was killed by a blow to the head.
A lot of children can't go home and don't want to go home, and yet they're returned, such as Faith Barney.
Faith's tragic story galvanized Donna Brown to action.
Return to further abuse and pain and suffering. I just think it's unconscionable.
Special advocates had been used in other states, but Donna Brown worked to make the program a reality here in Utah.
It's because of her efforts that Utah's child welfare system underwent a major reformation in the mid-90s. And it's because she saw injustice and was willing to step up to the plate.
What drove her?
Injustice.
Injustice.
Absolutely.
Her family agrees this was Donna's passion.
And I think we as a family strongly believe that she gave her life to this fight.
A court-appointed special advocate, or CASA, works with the lawyers who are handling a child's case in court.
The state of Utah, from time to time, intervenes in the lives of families when there are reports of problems going on there, anything from serious physical abuse or sexual abuse of a child to drug use by parents that results in those kids being neglected. When the state intervenes, a lawyer is appointed to represent the best interests of those children.
With the juvenile court, the whole entire situation is really meant to address the needs of that child. And unfortunately, the child ends up getting lost a lot of the time.
The lawyers that we have in our office represent, on average, just over 200 children per attorney.
A Guardian Ad Litem attorney might be able to see the child 4 or 5 times a year at the most. Maybe a DCFS worker could see the child once every 30 days if things go really well for that individual's caseload. CASA volunteer sees the children on an average of about 4 times a month.
They need the eyes and ears. They need someone who is working only on one case so that they can do their best job possible.
It's just really invaluable for us.
When you have a Guardian Ad Litem and a CASA volunteer assigned to a case, you really just can't beat the team.
CASA volunteers aren't just gathering information for the court. They have a special opportunity to really make a difference in the lives of these children.
And the kids that come through the court system often do not feel safe, and they often feel unloved.
Children in the system can feel powerless and face constant change.
The kids that I was assigned to in my last case had 2 attorneys, 2 social workers. They were in 3 homes and 3 schools in the 10 months that I was their CASA. And I was the only constant factor in their life at that time.
The CASA volunteer is the one person that no matter where that child goes, that CASA advocate is following them and visiting them no matter where physically they're located. That consistency is really, really important to these children.
And she was actually always there, no matter what, and I was always afraid that she was gonna leave too because everyone leaves, so you're not really have anyone constant, but she was always there and made sure I was doing good.
KELEE went into the court system when she was 8.
As a child, you don't really feel like you have too many people that you can really trust or that are listening to you.
One thing that she had always told me was that she could trust me, and that was very important to me. She could call me whenever she needed to.
Jenny Best was KELEE's advocate.
I'll stay in contact with her forever, go to my wedding, my baby showers, A lot of people think that if you're in foster care, you're a bad kid, which isn't necessarily true, and you do need help even if you are. A CASA could really change someone's life, so it makes a big difference to the kids.
A big difference to the volunteers, too.
And makes me feel needed and gives child hope.
We're not miracle workers, but these children, every child should be able to feel safe and be loved. Every child.
Being a CASA allows me to use my skills, my intelligence, my writing, my investigation ability to be able to help help in the lives of others.
All of the kids that have one, I'm sure, are grateful for it. I know I was.
Being a CASA volunteer starts with some extensive training and a long-term commitment, but the time demands are fairly small, usually less than 12 hours a month, and the need is great.
If we had 2,000 volunteers today, we could put them all to work today and still not reach all of the children that we need to reach.
You figure if we represented 14,512 children last year, and we have 320 volunteers currently, we could definitely use literally thousands more.
One CASA volunteer can change the life of a child, make a huge difference, bring them out of a terrible situation and help them to feel like there really is a future, like they have a friend, someone who will stand up for them. The difference that can be made, the impact on the life of one individual is tremendous.
It is an impact that started with one individual nearly 20 years ago.
Utah's doing terrific because of Donna Brown.
She is a prime example of one individual, just one voice out there making a huge difference.
Her impact had such a further reach than just the CASA program. Because of what she did, you know, it impacted the size of DCFS, it established the Office of Guardian Ad Litem, and it did definitely strengthen the CASA program.
Donna Brown's influence changed how children in Utah's court system are treated, but she would tell you that is nothing compared to making a difference in the life of even one child.
That I know that one day there's going to be a lot of children saying thank you that can't say thank you now.